Hey Scrappers, it's Vanessa here, and today is the YouTube hop for the new release from Traci Reed Design, which is called Jack and Skelly. And I'll have in the description box below everyone who's playing along with the YouTube hop, so you can go check out all of the projects that are created with this new collection, as well as check out the blog. There'll be inspiration over there from the release. So you can see everything that's in this particular collection, as well as all this week there'll be lots of inspiration using this collection, and then we'll wrap it up with an Instagram hop on Sunday. So lots of fun to see with this new collection. Traci always does amazing Halloween sort of inspired collections, and this one is no different. It definitely has the sort of classic Halloween colors with the oranges and the black and white color theme. And I'm not one for a lot of Halloween collections. I don't scrapbook a lot of Halloween and things like that, but I will say I do love the just super cute elements in this collection. It would definitely be my kind of Halloween collection, and it also has sort of a bit of a vintage flair to it, which I really do love. So I thought it would be fun to do something a little bit different, and I have created a mini album, and I did put most of it together because there's no way this video would be like 40 minutes long, if not longer, if I tried to do it all on camera. So I'm going to kind of do a few pages while we're on camera, and then I will put the book together, and then I'll go through and do a flip through of the entire completed album. So I don't do mini albums very often, and so give me a little bit of grace, considering this is not something I do very often. And so I know other people do amazing mini albums, so I definitely don't think I compete with them, but I thought this was kind of a fun project. And I don't do an October daily per se, so I decided to go for more of like a October stories and sort of have it be a mini album that went 1 through 10, and where I could just kind of grab like a photo maybe of the same year or other or multiple years, and just be able to tell like a little story 1 through 10 of just some of our past Octobers or things that we do in October and things like that. So that's kind of my inspiration for this project. So I'll stop talking, or at least stop going on, and I'll actually tell you what we are looking at. So I have a die, and if I could also have cut this out on my Silhouette. There's lots of cut files that have sort of a mini book theme on the Silhouette Studio, and so I had this die nonetheless, and it had the larger and a smaller, or sort of a medium size, and then there was an even smaller one, but I didn't use that one. But what I ended up doing was I ended up cutting a whole bunch of the pattern papers and creating my mini book using those different pattern papers. I started with a white cardstock, cut all of that as a base, and then I took black cardstock, and on the back of each of the pattern papers I put a piece of black cardstock. So so the pattern paper from the collection is really on the front, and then it has black on the back. And so then on the front, like I said, I have now I didn't use all the patterns in the collection, but I used a good number of them, almost all of them. And so that's how I put the pages together. So it made them thicker because I wasn't using like chipboard or something. Layering the three papers together gave it a little bit more stability. So for the black papers, or the black cardstock, I did lay them all out, and I did take some white paint, and I did splatter just to sort of dress up that black cardstock. Now stuff is going to go on top of this, so it's not going to be seen. a ton. And so I just wanted to have that as just to give me a bit of a base. And so that is sort of where we're starting. And I have sort of laid out what I'm going to do on each of these pages. And so I figure what I'll do is, for the ones laying here like this, I will lay out the design and then I'll probably glue it down off camera. And then, like I said, we'll come back and do a flip through of the finished album. So I didn't pull a ton, before I start, I didn't pull a ton of elements from my stash to go with this. I did pull some ribbon, as you see here, some enamel dots and gems, and some doilies. And then with the white cardstock, I did cut some of these little lace pieces. This is from a Tim Holtz, I believe it was Tim Holtz anyway, die. And so I did use those. But other than that, I'm basically letting this collection sort of speak for itself, in that I tried not to add a whole bunch of items outside of the collection, because I wanted to be able to show that with a collection like this, it's one of Traci's larger collections. You can totally use just this collection and you would have everything that you need to create a mini album or an October daily. And you don't really even need to add anything. So I wanted to make sure I sort of kept it more simple, so that if you're like me and it's not something that you do on a regular basis, that you can see that you can easily create what I think is a pretty well put together and a beautiful mini album, if you so choose to use this collection. So the first one that I'm working on here is my title page, and so we're gonna put this together. And these letters are some of my favorite types of letters. These block, I forget, they're kind of like a marquee, I think, kind of look to them. And so that is, I cut out the word October, because that is going to be, obviously I don't have a huge amount of space, right, for me to write out the whole word of October, but I definitely liked the idea of using these letters somewhere, and so we're gonna go with that. And then I have these, I want to say these are my mind's eye, I think, but I'm gonna use these to spell the word stories, and that's gonna make up my title page. And I will let you know that I am using all different elements. I'm going to actually put these down here. Hopefully I'm on camera. Usually I stand up when I do my voiceovers, but I am actually sitting down today. And so hopefully I'm staying in frame. I do apologize if I go off frame. I might have to at some point stand up and make sure I'm still staying in focus. And so, like I was saying, I have used elements from all of the different I guess element packs of this collection. I just lost my words. That's horrible. So I'm using obviously the pattern papers. I think the only thing I didn't use for this particular project is any of the journaling cards or the Traveler's Notebook signature cards, but I used the journaling, I used the elements, which is from the digital kit, I used the marquee alphas, I used the sticker sheet, so the journaling elements, the alpha, the digital ephemera, and the stickers. So that's basically all of the different element kits that are in this collection. So like I said, there is plenty in this particular collection that you can use to tell your December stories for sure. There are tons and tons and tons of elements to play with, and because like I've always said, it is digital, so the best news is the fact that it being digital means you can reprint all of this however much or however often as you need to have additional embellishments. So I did glue down some of this, but I'm going to glue the rest of this off camera. But that is how my intro is going to go. I am going to take some of these enamel dots. I'll probably use these enamel dots to finish that first page. So I'll kind of put that up here. And then now we're going to work on, I'm going to do these ones where it's one of the sides, mostly because if it's not glued down, I have to flip it over. And so I want to make sure that I get some of this on camera, and you can sort of just see me building some of this. And I didn't use a doily on every single page, just some of the pages have doilies, so kind of working through this. So actually, you know what? I think what I'm going to do is maybe do quick snippets of me creating each one. I'm going to go off camera so that I can make sure I keep everything in order, because I'm afraid I'll get things out of order if I try to jump around too much. So I'm going to glue this down and then come back. We'll do the next page, and we'll go kind of quick through each one since this is already long. Okay, I've sort of laid out the last couple of pages that need to be created, and because I don't want this to be too long, there's lots of things going on with the hop, and I want to be able to show you the completed book. What I'm going to do is like I said, laid out the last couple of pages. So we're going to kind of motor through, put everything together, and then I'll cut and bring in the finished book so that you can see everything put together. So for this particular page, I'm focusing on the floral elements of this collection. So I'm using this little October is Magic, and I plan to tuck it right in about there, in amongst my florals. We're going to glue these guys down, something just like that. Like I said, keeping it super simple. And these will all get glued. And then once everything is glued, and I'll, excuse me, I will do this. I'll do most of the gluing off camera, but just to give you the idea, I like to put in the center of the florals, a lot of times I like to add some enamel dots. So that's pretty much what I'm going to do here with this particular page. So I'm just adding, I'm not adding them to all of them, just doing 3 again, just gives me a little bit of interest. So there's that one. So it'll go this page, and then this page would be next. So we'll do front and back of this one. And this is what I'm considering my number page. So I did die cut with a little die this sort of notebook type page, and then because the little lace piece that I cut, it's too big to go completely across, so I do cut off one of them, and I always use it on the opposite page with the number. So I've kind of left little repeating elements. Not every page is the same, but I did have little repeating elements that kind of carry through everything that goes into this little mini album. So you'll see that when I go and do the flip through, that it definitely does repeat certain elements. And so I'm going to layer these all up and then glue that down. And then, like I said, I will add an enamel dot in the centers. And I think for this one, we're going to actually add a black one in the center. So it'll go like so. So then to the back of this, so I'm going to glue this down off camera because, again, for the sake of time, I don't want it to be forever. So this is where I plan to do a little bit of journaling. So I do have different types of journaling elements, some from the collection. This happens to be from just my stash. I had this little orange sort of note card, so I'm just going to layer up the florals that I've been using on this particular page. Again, the stories that I'm telling are not super detailed and long. I just thought it'd be fun to be able to document a few memories. So I'm able to sort of just lay these florals on the page, and it's okay if it covers up some of the journaling, because again, I don't have a huge, these aren't huge stories, they're just little fun memories. And so I'm thinking that will be enough for this particular page. So again, I will come in here with the enamel dots, and some of them I can already see I'm going to have to glue down some of my little enamel dots. And so that will be that page. And then what comes next is the sort of back page, which I have a white cardstock. This sort of represents where my photo is going to go. If I create my photos just a little bit smaller than this I think is like a 3.5 by 4 something. Let me look and see. It is 3.5 high by 2.75, 2 3/4. And so I'll probably try to size my photos so that they actually have a little frame of this white. But when I glue down this page, what I end up doing is I don't end up gluing. So like for this lace, for example, and anything that touches the white, I tack it so that it's glued to the back card and not the white cardstock where my photo is going to go. So basically this is tacked on the edges, and my placement for my photo has the ability for me to tuck the photo underneath wherever I have embellishments. So just something to keep in mind. I didn't have my photos printed because, again, I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to use yet. And so that's why I decided to go with something like this, where as long as I didn't glue on the white cardstock. So this one I inadvertently put too much glue, so I'm going to take a little bit off and just make sure that where it's touching the white, I don't have glue. So if I take that off, now it won't be touching the white cardstock, so it'll be just touching there. And then I have this little October love, so I'm just making sure the part that's going to get glue is just going to touch the lace piece, so that I still can tuck a photo underneath here. So that's really all I'm aiming to do with this, is put adhesive where I know it's not going to obstruct me being able to add a photo later. So that is all I'm going to do. I'll finish this one up. And then, like I said, I'm going to do the same thing where I'm going to add a couple of enamel dots to the center of my florals. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go off camera, and I have, this is going to decorate the jump ring, or whatever these are called, because this is what I'm going to use to hold the album together. So I'm just going to put some ribbon, tie a little bit of ribbon around this just to dress it up. And yeah, when I come back, I will have the completed book, and we'll just do a quick flip through. Okay, the album is done, and so I thought I would do a quick flip through. It definitely is chunky, even though I didn't add any foam, nothing dimensional, other than the enamel dots. It did turn out pretty puffy and thick for sure. I did add just that little bit of ribbon around the clips here. As you saw, we created the title page, which is just October Stories. And then you open it up, and so you have sort of just, this side is always just sort of a decorative little page. So I have the first one. So again, just using primarily the elements from the kit, and not very much from my stash. I really wanted the elements from the kit to sing, and I think this showcases all of the fun that's in this kit really well. The only thing I have to do off camera is just add the twine to my tags, so you won't see the twine. Still photos at the end. I'll just take a few select shots of some pages so you can get a feel for what the album looks like. It pretty much follows the same pattern all the way through, so I'll just do a couple of photos. So I have this cute one. The ghosts in this collection are adorable. I think they're super cute. I like these kind of elements for Halloween. The not super spooky scary, but the like really cute little ghosts and skeletons and jack-o'-lanterns and things like that. So I do really love that. That little boo, I had that as a die in my collection, which I totally forgot I had. So I did cut that out. And so I like to, like I said, there's kind of like this vintage flair to some of the ephemera pieces especially. And then of course the fun skeletons. Really, really fun. I like the rosettes that were in the digital collection, so I made sure to print those, as well as pumpkins from both the digital and the sticker sheet. So you can get a good feel for all of the different pieces and elements in this collection. And so this is the other one that we did on camera. So this is page 4 with all the florals. And then page 5, I sort of decided that this one would focus on the stars and the little owl that was in this collection. He's super cute. So he kind of pops up on the pages. Then this one here is the bats and the haunted house with the cute little ghost coming out the door. I love it. Super, super cute. Again, I left it so that this is not tacked down, so I can put my photo there. And I have a little bit of room to put my story. Number 7 is the potions and the black cat and the witch's hat. Super fun. I like it, just something simple to be able to tell some stories. This one, obviously, I'm going to try to pull some pumpkin carving photos, since this is sort of geared toward that carving pumpkins. So lots of the pumpkins. I love this jack-o'-lantern. That definitely gives me like a vintage vibe. I love that little guy. And then this one here is all the spider webs and all the creepy crawlies. I put those all on this page. I did also use some gems. Oh, that's not stuck very well, so I'm going to have to glue that piece down. I also, instead of some enamel dots on some pages, I did use these little jewels, just again to add a little sparkle. And then this one here, the last one, is here for the candy, so I'll definitely pull out some of my kids' Halloween candy photos. You know, every kid when they get home, or at least my kids, and I did it when I was growing up, where we would dump out all our candy and put it into piles. That definitely happened in our family. And then again, the photos, and that is it for this book. So hopefully you enjoyed that little look at sort of the process of putting this little mini album together, at least some of the pages. Be sure to check out the description box below, see what everybody else has created. Go check out the blog, grab this collection while it's on sale. And like I said, still photos will be coming up next. And with that, guys, I will catch you on the next one. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.